I ain't all the way set up, but you're talking about what's the 411, and I put a whole bunch of posts and I'm doing a poll because some people don't look at things from different perspectives, and we're just going to address, how some things are looked at a certain way and other things are neglected or not paid attention to because sometimes we can get wrapped up in things and things that are not really important to us, but we need to really focus on the important things that make a difference because we're gonna talk about it once I get my stuff set up because it's a real food for thought actually when you think about it. One second though, I'm gonna open it up so y'all can pay attention to the polls that I got. If you look at the prior videos, it's what's the 411 on it, and it say eat this. Read the description too, because the description will tell you the debate or what's going on, what y'all think, and then we go from there. You know what I'm saying? So to give an honest opinion, and I really do want to ask some people that too, men and women, for real, because a lot of people get caught up in a whole lot of things, but reality doesn't set in until you set in a situation, and that's just facts. A lot of people don't see reality until they're faced with a situation that they could have avoided. Um, Hold on, I had to fix that. Hold on, and that's all I'm trying to say. Um, we can avoid a lot of situations by being proactive instead of reactive. You know, when you have to react to something that happens all of a sudden, you're not going to be as proficient to respond. So if you're proactive in what you do, you're going to be already on point on what you need to get done or how you're going to go about accomplishing what you need to accomplish. But yeah, I'm just out here chilling. Little Nike jogger joint. Well, hold on one second. Let me get my stuff right. But it's real talk though. It's real talk because that's some things people don't think about. Trying to see if I can hear myself. Yeah. Okay. So basically, the thing was is for instance, a lot of women they look for their Hermes belts and shoes and Uggs and their Gucci or their Louis Vuitton stuff, or all this designer stuff, or even when it comes to wanting to go out to eat, it's not wrong with doing all of that, but sometimes you gotta let a man be a man and do what he's supposed to do as far as a protector, not just a provider, but a protector too. All right, you driving around going out to eat, or she driving around with her girlfriends. She ain't got no air pump in her car. She ain't got no jumper cables in her car. But as a man, that's your responsibility, right? Nah, it's a two-way thing because you're not gonna be with them all the time. So it's best for you as the man to be proactive to make sure she good, um, and the ladies to actually listen and allow that man to be a man and not emasculate him to make him think that he's doing the wrong thing because she's saying that you got to come out there and do it. No, it's good to have someone that knows how to do certain things if anything go wrong. And that's why if you got your boo, your babe, or whatever, your girl, it's best for you to teach her certain things too, because it may be a situation where you're not always there. All right, just say for instance, when you're on a cruise, y'all going on a cruise, which y'all know I don't really like cruises no more, but y'all going on a cruise. When you go on this cruise, you got everybody got to attend that little safety briefing, right? So while you attending that safety briefing, do you think they say, nah, y'all go step aside. This safety briefing ain't for you. Nah, that ain't how I go. That safety briefing is for everybody on board because their life is in their hands as well as your life is in the captain's hands, right? So at the end of the day, you have to be proactive about your health and your safety. But not just your health and your safety. If you're proactive about your health and your safety, you'll be proactive about the safety and health of the one you love. At the end of the day, I mean, you got a point blank period. Yeah, she want to go to Roof Crest. Yeah, she want to go to Fleming's. Yeah, she want to go to, different places to eat and all that. Yeah, she want to go shopping and buy this. But what good is a pair of brand new Coach boots, rider boots, or a Hermes belt, or a brand new Milan outfit, or something designer when you can't even cover the basics that will help you while you out and about? You know what I mean? That's the craziness. Like a lot of stuff we get tied into wanting different things, getting different things, and all of that, but not really looking at what's more important. So, what's more important? Because you could be out in the cold, you could be wearing the best of whatever, your Uggs, your little Kate Spade coat, your little fur hat, your little Hermes belt, all these little things, but yet you stuck in the cold because you don't even got jumper cables. You don't even have a tire pump. You don't even have fix a flat in your car. You don't have none of these necessities, but yet you want to do all these other things. And I'm not saying that you can't do these things. What I'm saying is, as a man and a responsible man, you should make sure she got that stuff straight. And if she do, have those things, you should be able to show her how to use it. If she by herself, what's the best thing you could do? Is to help her learn how to utilize, even though she doesn't have skills in doing it, something that can help her save her life too. Because you say, "Oh, did you stop this man? You stop somebody to ask them to help. Why you do that?" Well, look, she in a desperate situation. So in turn, you're supposed to do what you need to do for her. If you show her how to use it and show her how to do certain things, she don't have to depend on nobody. I'm not saying she don't have to depend on no man or nothing like that. I'm just saying you'll educate her to know how to handle things in a situation where she don't need to stop nobody for help. She already equipped. If you stay ready, you'll never have to get ready. Period. You know what I mean? And that's in all things. And I'm not saying that just to be playing around. I mean, I could do a census right now and just ask, anybody. And sad to say, some of them may not have some of those things, or they may have jumper cable. They may not have certain things, or they may have it and not know how to use it. So in the interim, the best thing you could do for your boo, your girl, or your wife, even more so, is to give her education. Educate them on what they need to do to make sure that they covered. And the only way you can educate is to show them. Don't get frustrated because they don't know what this is. They don't know what that. That's up to you to show them. But I feel like this too, ladies. You have to let a man be a man too. And if he start to talk to you and show you certain things, you can't be, no, I do it this way. No, it should be done this way. No, okay, because that's gonna get frustrating if you think you know it all and can do it all, But then what you need me for? What you need a man for at that point? And that's what a lot of women do say. I don't need a man. I can do this, do this. But when it come down to it, you get to those moments where you find out you need a man for certain things, just like we need women. That just goes with the territory, man, of being a man is 90% physical, 10% emotional. That's my take. Women are 90% emotional, 10% physical. So it's easy for them to be pleased physically at 10%. So yeah, in a sense, they don't have to have you in that aspect. Us, we work in the opposite. So my thing is you can't tie your emotions up on doing right for your girl or doing what you should do. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna all fall back on you anyway. Let her not know how to do her tire or do certain stuff, and she's stranded somewhere. You're gonna have to come and get her or call AAA. Either way, So why not eliminate a bad narrative and create a good situation? I'm just being honest. Like, if I did a survey and stuff, and I'm gonna just saying randomly, to understand, like, just ask. Excuse me. Can I ask you a question real quick? All right, tell me what you think about this. I'm doing a poll on something, right? And it's basically talking about people and their responsibilities. Just say, for instance, um, you go out with your girl or your guy, and you are on a date. You're always going out to eat. You're always doing stuff. You're always buying stuff. But safety and your personal safety on the road and stuff is really not in the focus because no one's just thinking of having a flat tire other than the basics, having fix a flat or something like that. They just keep the basics. And some of us don't even have jumper cables in their car. But not being like, forward with it. But do you have jumper cables in your car? Well, you don't know. You do. You keep them. All right. Do you have air pump or any sort, or you just have the jumper cables? High five though. High five. But that's the issue though. That's the issue. But the point is, you have them. You know what I mean? You have jumper cables. You got the regular cables. Okay, it is utilized for both. Okay, is it a Fantex? Which one do you have? You don't know the name of it. Okay, but it does both. So now, if the air pump doesn't work, then that means the jumper cables don't work. Uh huh. Okay, a certain way. Okay, okay, okay. And see, but that's another thing too. Like I'm saying, as far as men are concerned, if we're gonna do something, why you out spending money buying food and all that? I was like, y'all eat this word because this right here gonna help you save your butt. Because how many situations you'd have had probably a flat tire out of the blue? Mm-hmm. Exactly. Right. Right. Now, see, now you didn't kick yourself on now. I didn't say that, but it's true. But the whole point is, though, you attempted to have it. Even though it's still in your inventory, it doesn't work, but you had the right plan. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is yeah, do get that checked out and definitely do it because in Raleigh they was having a situation with these guys who were actually throwing, I don't know if they were shooting nails in women's car tires and stuff, or they were planning, like, as you driving, putting nails on it to flatten your tire to cause the woman to do what? Pull over. And then when they did that, some people were being kidnapped and crazy stuff was happening to them and all of that. And then it was a situation where it happened to somebody I was talking to, and that's so funny. I was following behind them, and I seen cars slowing down, and sometimes they don't come in one. They got a crew, like one or two people. You know what I mean? So when they did, I see this car slow down. When she slowed down, looked like he's pulling over. I said, "Where you at?" So I followed and pulled over, and then the car seen the other car, and they dipped out because they seen my truck pull up. I didn't want to scare or startle her, but reality is reality. But also get you a can of Fix a Flat. Now, y'all, this is show you I'm talking to somebody real. This is a real person. What's your name now? Renee. All right, I do YouTube and stuff, but I be talking about stuff. But see, can of Fix a Flat too, because you get in a situation, when you get a nail in your tire, you got a certain amount of miles that you can travel in your car before your tire actually, depending on how bad or where it hit, how you can actually drive, right? So if you had a can of Fix a Flat and that nail was anywhere in that car, and you use that Fix a Flat along with your pump, that'll give you time to get home. Period. Yeah. Where you was driving at. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. You got some sick people out here that's doing stupid stuff, and they plotting, and they doing this, just they planning them to do this stuff. But the whole point is and I'm just playing. I'm just saying this too because this morning I had a situation. I came out and my red tire was flat, and now I had to think because I just got my new wheels on there, and I ain't got the hubcaps. I'm at the tops on the valve stem to put the air in. And I was like, maybe, over time, but with temperature change, you can have a flat tire. So I'm like, why would I have a flat tire on one side though? It's real low on this side. And I looked at the car beside me. I was like, yeah, that looked like a hood joint. Got no wheel, no rims on it. It was just like the old police tires, like they just took the hubcaps off. I was like, yeah, somebody probably was just hating and just did it. But then again, it could have been the air, the temperature change. So what happened was I went on and used my pump, pumped it up, put it back in the car. My first time, I almost forgot. I was like, maybe I gotta drive to the BMW place to get my joint, air in my tire. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, I was being slow myself because I'm a safety person too, right? So I got everything in my car. I was like, This is my in the first time I had to use it though. That's the messed up part. I pulled it out all the times I've been going to get air in my tire, so I ain't got to get out. So that's lazy. But I remember I say, oh, and that's those moments right there that I could have been stuck somewhere, and somebody could have just did that on any random parking lot, anything else. You know what I mean? And plotted, bomb down there, bend it down, not focus, give it up. You know what it is? I'm like, hey, at that point, they could have been doing that because anything like that it's tactical. And every time I see something like that, I think tactical. With my family is basically military, so I'm like, this don't seem right, And I hate to do that, but it's the world we living in. Yeah. So I ain't mean to disturb you. My name is Rio. Yeah, yeah. All right, what was your name again? Renee. All right, but that's the thing is because a lot of people don't even look at that kind of stuff. Even men though, they driving around, they think just because they got cables in there, and then be like, "Yeah, I got cables," and at the end of the day, stop. Yeah, I'm in the back. You go get them. You done lent them to somebody, or you don't have them in the car at all. And then you got a spare tire in there, like me. No, I'm gonna go back because I just smacked myself in the face. I don't have a spare tire in my car. But if I had that can of finger flat and I got my pump, I can make it home or I can make it to a safer spot or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like a lot of people get involved with so many other things in life, buying stuff, going out to eat. Just say you're going out to eat. Oh, you want to go to Ruth Chris? Huh? Okay, let's go. And you come back out there and tires flat. And it could have been somebody who did it on purpose, just being spiteful, hateful, whatever else. But now you stuck. So what you gonna do? Call AAA just because you got a flat? So at the end of the day, you need to be proactive and be able to say, well, look, how can I fix this situation and we can go on about our day, especially being a man. You know what I mean? Because if we don't teach our babe, our girl, how she can move about a situation without saying, "Excuse me, sir, I need help. I'm stuck out here." And how you think that man gonna look? He be like, "Oh, Target, what's up? Let me get your number." Da, 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 da. Where's your man at? He's supposed to be. That's those are danger zone situations right there. Because for one, he already know that the man ain't out there, and that and sometimes women we overtalk. You know, it's gonna be about an hour or so before you get here. You're giving them too much information. You know what I mean? And at that point in time, he knows an hour or so he could be out there, grab you or get the number, do everything else. Well, you wasn't there, and I didn't know what to do. So I had, and then he fussing at her because she did it. No, you can't be that man. Because if anything, if you get in and pull up and the guy's legit, appreciate you, man. Thank you, thank you. Now, if he say something smart out of his mouth, then man, you should look up for that. We're gonna have some friction. But at the end of the day, it's just proving a point that we gotta be on point for who we love. Because if we don't do it and she don't know, you putting her in a situation. So how do you really love her then? It's more than things. It's about necessary things. You know what I mean? Because some women and shoot me get caught up in more material things that are not necessary. Some men do too. So let me be balanced. Some men do too, because I still ain't got to spend time in my car. But I got everything else. So at the end of the day, I'm just saying that it's more value in necessities than just one. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to tell people because I put something on YouTube. It was what's the 411, and I used Mary J. Blige joint, and I had the beat, and I had a poll up for them to go ahead and chime in. Is what I'm saying right, or do y'all think it's wrong? I mean, because at the end of the day, women always say, "Oh, you're supposed to be the head, you're supposed to be that," but sometimes you don't allow us to be. Sometimes you don't allow us to be. And I say you can't emasculate a man to the point and shoot him down when he's trying to look out for your well-being, not only inside the house, but when you leave. You want to go with your girls and do all this, and he cool with it. You want to go hang with them? And, yeah, we gonna go turn out. Yeah, y'all gonna do that, okay? But when you get out there and it's cold like today, and it's about to be some bad weather, and your tire deflate all of a sudden, nobody naturally has to tamper with nothing. Just like a situation, and your tire or one of your tires or two of your tires is flat, and you don't have AAA, you know, you go, my car tire is flat. When you come in, I need you to come up here. Where you at? way out west bubble somewhere. You don't even know what your girl day or whatever was, and now it's all on you. Well, you need to come out here. You need to hurry up. Hurry up. Where you at in Raleigh? I mean, hurry up to where? Where are you at? We at Juju's. Oh, really? So y'all eating at Juju's, huh? I mean, y'all way in Raleigh. You could have went to Burlington and went to a hibachi or went to Kabuto's or anywhere else. Like you wanted to go travel, huh? You ain't let me know what you going, where you going. I ain't saying that happened to me, but I'm just saying the whole point is let me know where you at too. I don't want to have to you drop a locator with this is what you don't even do that. I don't know where you at. So what you running from? Yeah. You running from safety if you ask me. I mean, police or something and get involved and they be like, well, where was she at? Where was she last seen? Last seen in the house. Like, what else am I gonna say? But I ain't gonna hold you up. But that's just reality. Like I tell people, you gotta put more bank more things in necessary things than unnecessary. And sometimes like you say, well, love don't pay the bills, but love can keep you safe if he really love you. That's what I'm saying. Love can keep you safe. And you can't justify him being a certain way if he's not being mean to you or nothing, but he's trying to stress, hey, look, this is what you should do. This is what this, and he instills that in you. If that man should leave for whatever reason, die, or y'all not together again, guess what? You got education. So at the end of the day, he see you like, yeah, my car didn't start, but did you use the such and such? Even if y'all still cool, did you? Yeah, I had it. It worked. It did it. So you be grateful. Well, I was gonna say something on them, but I mean, like after that good lookout, would you consider something? At that point in time, again, well, maybe we can go on a date. Maybe we can, maybe not totally rekindle, but thank you. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, some of us don't even do that. And some of us are so ungrateful. Even if you go to the range, take them to the range, like I'm not, I'm scared of guns or whatever, but that's what the range is for, to break you out of being gunshot and showing you safety. Now, I say I'm a safety person now, showing you safety. So if it's around there and I'm not there, that's showing you safety. So now you got the option not to say, well, I ain't gonna do nobody, I ain't gonna shoot nobody, I ain't gonna do that. Well, no, you got an option and a choice. Because right there is right there. You know what I mean? So now you know what not to be scared of. You know how to handle a certain situation. You know to remember what this looked like. If it's red, that means it's live. If it's black, that means the safety's on. You learn, you getting educated too. Because you never know. Like some stuff, like accidents happen 5 minutes away from the house. It'd be a situation that you could put yourself in as soon as he leaves or as soon as you leave. But the whole reality of things is you got to look at stuff for face value and not take everything for granted. And then you got these people walking around with their cell phones looking down at the ground and not paying attention. Yeah, and then what happened? Oh, he didn't hit me in my head. He took my purse. Well, most of the time that ain't us. Getting hit in the head, took the purse. If they gonna confront us, they want to confront us face to face or sideways, a blind spot, because they know either we strapped. Because now statistically, it's more women getting involved with firearms, especially during the pandemic and other upheavals that have been going on here, New Orleans and everywhere else. It's been a lot of women. It's sad to say a lot of these ones too buying, arms. So at the end of the day, a lot of people, it's like now in their mindset, it's like, oh, I ain't scared because everybody got one. So what you want to do? You know what I mean? It's like that. Everybody like, what you want to do? So now y'all military, huh? Y'all just want to have a whole standoff. You know what I mean? Put yourself in a situation where you could just be cool and try to eliminate the situation. But some people don't want to eliminate it. They want that. They want that. Yeah, they want to put their life to the test. You know what I'm saying? So, but my whole thing is just being proactive in your health and safety, because at the end of the day, I was saying, like, when you're on a cruise, when you had to take a cruise, the cruise conductor and the captain get everybody down, you all on the deck, and they giving a safety talk, a stand up talk or stand down talk. So when they do that, they're not doing it just for him to hear, your boo, your man to hear. You're doing it for you too. So you think that safety vest is supposed to go on his neck and you're supposed to squeeze up under the safety vest? They ain't had word. They ain't, so that's telling you that each individual should be responsible for their own what? For their own safety. And that's just like the Titanic. And sometimes I feel like this. Now, I was in a relationship with a person who could not swim. Now, can you swim? See, but that's another thing too. To be proactive. And a lot of people don't swim. But guess what they love to do? Go on that darn boat and whisk their life away into some foreign waters, and then be like the Titanic, and I be the one that's out there trying to save everybody and die. They be like, he was a good man. He saved four people before he. I'm not trying to hear that narrative. I'm not trying to hear that at all. I want to hear, I'm swimming to you, but like, I got you by my hand. I ain't trying to hear no, and I'm going under, and you drowning me while I'm trying to save. Yeah, because people, and that's how a lot of people die though. Yeah, because the person nervous, they flopping, they this, and you getting drowned because they just scared, you know. And then if you got more than one person, then good, you double dipping. You come up for air, they push you back down, and you got waves and everything else you got to contend with. So I don't know. I was just having a real moment and just trying to put some extra stuff together to for the poll for my peoples on here, so they can see, hey, this realistic, because if you're a man and you ain't got one, if you going like the Bible say, a man should treat others or take care of others like he take care of himself. And that's just not saying others. That means your significant other, your baby, your girl, your wife. If you gonna do it for yourself, you should do it for them first. Because at the end of the day, you responsible for that person. If that's your girl, you responsible for her safety. So you can't be like, oh, why he tripping because this guy was looking, but he might have seen something outside that you didn't see. You know what I'm saying? Or something else about that person that you didn't see. Or he got a bad vibe about him. That was different. Somebody, oh yeah, she they looking, which I know in North Carolina, that's how they be all kinds of crazy. You can't do that in New York, DC, certain parts of VA, or New Orleans. You do respect. You look, glance, all right, yeah. Oh, you got a good one, dog. Oh, appreciate that, man. Keep it moving. You know what I mean? You keep it moving because you already know what it is. You say something to them, that's that. Now, if you start getting the sarcastic, nasty comments and everything else, then that's going to take it to another level. And like I always say to somebody, you remember the Million Man March joint? When DC had the Million Man March, and they did the Million Man March in DC a while back, and well, let me get the highlight. This one youngin from North Carolina went up to the march, right? Came back in a wheelchair. So it's only one way, and I'm gonna say this. I'm born in Southeast DC, born and raised. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is, it's only one way a person to go up there and come back in a wheelchair. Is either he was robbed and somebody shot him, or he opened that trap to somebody girl, and the dude kept telling him, yo, pipe down or you won't get this pipe. And he thought it was a game because it was Million Man March and everybody's supposed to be on Kumbaya. We love each other because we all won. And he being disrespectful, that all won out the window. He all won now. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it pays how we move and how we do things. When you're in a different environment, like when I went to Thailand, like I went to Thailand this past year. I came back in November. I stayed there a month and 2 weeks, and you got to move different. Any country you go to, you got to learn the rules. You got to learn the law because you go over there and you get locked up, and your family don't know where you at. So you got to respect culture. You got to respect people. My folks are Trinity and Jamaican and Bohemian on my mama's side. So my whole point is you ain't going to Montego Bay and you thinking, oh, it's all touristy and this. Nah, they get down over there too. Kingston, they get down over there. I went to the Freedom Fest, and that was just in Kingston. They get down over there and they don't play. Machetes too. They don't need no gun. They come out there with a joint and just chop you down. Like, yeah. So my whole point is you need to learn the rules and learn the land of the law, or else keep it moving in a way to where you ain't showing no fear. You still being masculine, but at the same time you still showing respect. You can't go over there and just be live like you You from Westmoreland, from Kingston, from any part of there, and you ain't, and don't have no family there, you know. But yeah, you trying to be like, yo, the U.S. don't fly. The U.S. vibe don't fly in other countries. That's why you go over Thailand. They say it's the land of smiles. Those people don't like violence. They don't like drama. They don't like drama. You get over there, most of the people like this. We come over there with that, you know, like I'm better than this, or my swag is this, so they're gonna respect me. Man, they got Tom Mafia over there too. So you can't get missing. The government is like, forget you, pay me. I mean, I kind of like that though, because I was driving with somebody and got a ticket. It was like 500 baht, 500 baht, and you go. It's not downtown. I was like, he was like, I was like, mm, because I don't care if you call it extortion or what. If he putting that money in his pocket, I don't care. My whole point is, I ain't got to go to the police station. I ain't got to go down there and have my face, my fingerprints, and they know I'm still in town. And then at that point, they give them a right to harass me all the time until I leave. You know what I mean? That's not saying they're gonna do it, but the potential of it happening is just real. You know, I mean, I got stopped 2 times. It wasn't my fault. No, it wasn't my fault. But one time it was my fault. Like, so 3 times total. Two of them were my fault. I was on the back of a motorbike and he was flying. They pulled him over and he was looking at me like, if they citing you, bro, don't look at me. You better get that ticket. And then the other time I was coming from the airport, just getting there. And my little pickup, my little ride picking me up was parked illegally. And then she must have had some mouth, because she must have had some mouth with that certain officer, and that certain officer was giving people a break. But when he saw her, she was like, and went over to her. Let me see ID, ID. I was like, me? He said, no, sir, no, no, you, ID, yeah, to her. And I was like, phew, I got in the car. I was like, I'm out of this. Ain't got nothing to do with it. She kept looking back at me. I was like, don't look at me. I ain't got nothing to do with you and what y'all got over here. But that's the whole thing, man. We gotta do better. Like, we gotta do better as people. Yeah, as people. Because I went over there. There's violence over there. I was walking the streets. I know I went to another subject, but I was walking the streets at 4:30 a.m. eating. I found a cart that was selling fried chicken and sticky rice. And I was in the alley at that. I would not do that in North Carolina. I would not do that in New York. Wouldn't do it in Jersey. I wouldn't do it in none of those places. And I was like, down there, no nothing, no gun, no nothing. People was cool. They was out like it was like 5 in the afternoon at 4 something in the morning. They active. I mean, all the parties, everything was active. And I was like, all right, let me eat this and go inside. And might I add, the food was busting. It was busting. So what I'm saying is the temperament of those people. You got your scammers and stuff like that, but they ain't no straight up, give me your money or I'm gonna kill you type stuff. And their murder rate is slim down there. It's slim. So for you, even as a woman, wanting to go to a country like that, you wouldn't really have no worries. It's crazy, but you moving somewhere up north or Midwest or whatever, you like, dang, your whole family be like, so where you going to? Did you check the place at night and in the day to see how it is? What's everything like out there? I hear they get some, a lot of people, I hear they this and this out there. You just be careful, but it's just real talk. We gotta be proactive when we even move in Greensboro. Because some people don't want to leave the hood, even though the hood ain't there no more. They didn't knock it down, change it, but you still got the element that want to stay over there. You got them fighting for territories. Like, how y'all fight for this? This is new houses. The Grove gone. They like the Grove gone. Like, yo, what y'all doing? But still, and then you still got ones who live in the new houses who used to live over there. Sometimes you can't. Hey, sometimes you can't get everything out of the way, but the least you can do is make yourself move different. You know what I mean? Make yourself move different. And you ain't gotta stay in certain situations. You gotta change your narrative. So that's my two cent, y'all. That's my two cent on all of it. So whether people like it or not, it's just I'm not gonna say nothing without having no kind of facts for real. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna reflect on me too. Because I'd rather give somebody the truth and something that's factual than giving them some fluff and they go out there and get hurt or not have themselves prepared. So at the end of the day, if it worked for you and you hear me, like I'm gonna try to get my tire and can I fix a flat? I didn't talk myself into remembering, but I definitely had that situation this morning. I was grateful that I remembered that I had all my stuff in the back, and I'm right in my parking lot puffing it up. And one of the maintenance dudes walked out, man, you good, man? Yeah, I'm just fixing my tire. He said, you pumping your tire? I said, yeah, that little joint right there. He said, man, I need to get one of them. So I'm like, bro, you got to, because you never know when you're gonna be in a situation. Yep. You on Instagram or use Instagram? You on Instagram? What you use more? Facebook? I'm about to say TikTok. Don't be on it. Right. That's what I'm saying. All right. I do got hold on, I'm about to end this joint right now. But that's it, y'all. In between time, meantime, be easy, be you. I'm out.